Ozzy. Well, I have to actually start where I left off in 2016. Excuse me. I had adopted Puka and Gary at first. I had, adopted Zippy and Zinger. Actually, no, I had adopted Boo Boo and Moochie, then Zippy and Zinger, and also Zelda. It seems like, when it rains, it pours. Either no one gets back to you or everyone gets back to you all the same year. And I had been looking around for quite a while, and I was having trouble, finding male cats. At one point, I was finding all females, and I had, 7 females. I said, no, I really don't have space for these, but, I had kind of a deficit on the male side, so I was looking for males. I had trouble finding them, and then 3 offers got back to me, 3 different age groups. The kittens ended up coming through. I put in an application not knowing there was another applicant. The agency could have easily picked the other applicant over me. So, I put in my application for them. I heard back from the military, the guy in the military. He also, could have easily picked someone else and didn't, felt I was the best able. And, also the woman in the paper with Gary and Puka. I actually, when I originally had agreed to adopt Gary, and then while I was there, she was like, "Do you want another kitten?" I'm like, "Well, I'll take." I said I could take Puka. I said, but I didn't bring a carrier. You'll have to get back to me. And she literally got back to me about Puka. So, after that, 2016, I was pretty much done at that point. Adopting for that moment. And my population was aging, somewhere over 10 years, over 15 years. So I knew that, and Raoul was kind of at the end stages. And he actually passed that year. So, it was a lot. It was a lot of respite care with Raoul, and it was a lot of watching Zippy and Zinger grow. We were very busy, and it was the time when the colony really solidified, the group between 2016 and 2019. And like I said, the cats became more important. The guinea pig, I wasn't involved after 2015. I wasn't involved with the Top affair anymore. So I just let my guinea pigs kind of, grow old and pass away in the normal phase. I went from 150 one year to 60 the following year, the same way I did when, I started with 2, I ended up with 10, I started showing 20. So the same thing in reverse happened between 2016 and 2019. I went from 150 guinea pigs and 9 cats to 18 cats and 9 guinea pigs. So there was a shift, and I also had two chickens. I'll get into that later. And rabbits, 2 rabbits I had taken in as well. And so, we were just kind of just enjoying being a group, I guess, during that time. There was a lot of, socialization, Zippy and Zinger. And like I said, I think they pulled a bait and switch with me on Zelda, which became apparent in her behavior as well. And, Zippy and Zinger got very big. They went from being very small cats to very, very large males, very big bone like Alex or like King. They were probably pushing 20 pounds. Huge. Originally they were very good companionships for Madeline and Sky. And then they grew to like this 20-pound size that really, like playing with each other. They were more, a king size cat, and that's fine. So, but originally I had gotten them as companionship, or Madeline and Sky. And there was this cat at a friend's house. My friend Rick, who was often homeless, often switching addresses, was staying in yet another person's house. And they had a small kitten. They had a dog, and they had a small kitten named Ozzy. And that's when I first met Ozzy at Rick's friend's. Well, it was his mother's house. He lived with his friend and their mother. And I would visit, and I would find like the dog. Rick and his friends are just not as, I guess, I don't know, they're involved with their animals, but, they have, like, maybe a distracting or busy lifestyle, a lot of people in and out of the house, and sometimes they get forgetful about the water bowl, about the food bowl, so, when I would visit, I would bring, like, treats for Ozzy. I would bring, like, I would always fill his water bowl when I'd go there and make sure it was full, and, things like that, and, you know... I always said, if you ever want to breed him, I said, I'll give you a pick of litter to Barbara. And, she said, well, I'll think about it, and I never really thought she would take me up on the offer. This was in 2018. I was working at a gas station for a while. I was like going, they were out of Saugus, Mass, and I was going to Saugus a lot, and, at that time, I think there was like a lot of tension with Rick in the house, and they wanted to, get the cat out of the house or whatever. And so she said, I'll let him stay with you for a couple of months and see if you can conceive a litter, because they'd always wanted a litter with Sky. I never really dreamed a litter with Madeline. I mean, I would love a litter with Madeline. I did love a litter with Madeline when it happened. That's why I, stepped up to the plate, took her to the vet, got them all their shots, and took care of my responsibilities when Madeline ended up pregnant. But I never imagined, in the 6 years I had her, I just never imagined her, because of her size, because of her weight issues and other birth defects, the TMJ, the eating. I never imagined that she would be in any condition to, conceive. So I had pictured, and Sky was very high-strung cat. Ozzy, there was some drug issues with my friend Rick and his friends, and there was some like elder senior care issues, I guess, with his mom. There was foreclosure in the house. So while he was staying with me, and he and Sky got along great. They were like, fast friends, just mates all the time, like, grooming each other. He wasn't well socialized with cats, and he viewed like senior animals as like a threat to his food. So I sensed that there was like some tension with the dog, in the previous household, like eating his food. And, there was some aggression issues that we were working on. We were working on behavior management with him. And I really thought like a litter with them, with Ozzy and Sky, would calm down both Sky's temperament, because she was very hyper, difficult to catch, one of the most agile, fastest cats I've ever seen. It's the best way to describe her is like a greyhound in a cat, because she is like, and if her person with COPD, to try to wrangle her in by themselves, it was nearly impossible without a net. And I've often said that to my veterinarian. I had to cancel appointments because I was unable to get her into a carrier. So I really thought a litter with Sky and Ozzy would be just the thing to like calm down Sky's temperament. And I was planning on having one litter with them and having her fixed. And that was, that would be the end of it. And Ozzy was going to be fixed as well. And Barbara was supposed to, originally, get Ozzy back at the end of this. That was the original agreement, but that's not how it worked out. They ran into well, first of all, Sky and Ozzy never conceived together, and we didn't know why. So we still had that at the time in 2019. When, I'll get into how this all happened shortly with the arrival of the kittens and Christopher and all this stuff. But, as of 2019, Sky had still not conceived, had a litter, or anything like that. Ozzy was still with me at that time. When the police came, they took him in too. I still consider him Barbara's cat. Um, she's kind of been back and forth with me on, I want them back, and then, when I get back to them or talk to Rick about getting their number to get back to them, um, I'm told that they're selling the house and that they can't take him back. So, I mean, I really love Ozzy. I love Sky, and he's part of our family. I do need behavior management because he can be aggressive towards seniors. He has some issues, maybe some drug dependency that plays a role in his behavior earlier on. Secondhand smoke in the house he was in. I don't know the extent, but it could be extensive. I've often said that. And, he is Barbara's cat. There's a senior citizen, it's a senior citizen's cat, but there are other issues going on with him and his care in the house. And, I really just wanted them to, kind of nest. I thought nesting would be a good thing for him to maybe bond with the litter. I noticed when Madeline had her litter, he was very interested in the litter. He calmed down, but still, I did not let them out of the crate around Ozzy either, so I have to, put a little warning on that. It would help his behavior, but I certainly wouldn't trust him unattended with a litter at all at this stage, or at the stage I last saw him at. So, I do think he would be an excellent candidate for spay neutered, which was on my agenda after the kittens shots. It was to answer the Sky fertility questions. The kittens, you get them on a spay neuter schedule. And also, Ozzy and Sky as well were top priority at that stage. So, you know, I'm sure Ozzy's just brokenhearted, he has trouble bonding with other animals. At first, he has trouble realizing cats aren't dogs, and it took him a while to come around. So, it's devastating for every single individual in this group, and, his is no exception. As cute and young, and this is what's sad, because Zippy and Zinger are like the sweetest boys and just the biggest sweethearts, but yet they're both like 20 pounds. They're very big boned. They're almost like a Russian blue size. They're enormous, and they're going to have trouble being separated. No, they're the sweetest guys. You can house them together. You can house them around kittens. You can trust them around young. But Ozzy is the cute, small one. So, I know some poor, unsuspecting pet owner is going to have this potentially aggressive animal placed with them and marketed to them as the quote-unquote cuter one, when, he is in the wrong environment, without his mate, without the things he's become bonded to. He is an accident waiting to happen. And I'm sure, someone finds him an interesting, maybe case for pet insurance somewhere. But, I really have had, a lot of behavior management issues with him that I've been working on. And, I would like to see continuing, not getting a death sentence in 2019 prematurely right in the middle of something because, someone wants, to make 20 write-offs out of them. It's just, I don't know, another disheartening case.